Hey guys, so here we are after the show, a new segment that we are starting on the Hopry. A lot of times, we do our formal reviews, and then afterwards we sit around and talk about the beer. And so we really wanted to take a few minutes to, kind of, I guess, dig a little bit deeper on this one. But what got me thinking about this beer is, how do you score a beer that's really kind of perplexing, and how do you show respect for a beer that's perplexing? Or how do you disrespect a beer because it's perplexing,
We've had a wide variety of beers on the show. I mean, we've, had one of our, between Mark and I, we're both, big, proponents of McKellar as a brewery. And, we had a few beers on there, on our show that frankly we didn't, just didn't really like all that much.
Look at that, man. And spilling beer over to other people's houses.
There's a towel in the back. It's got your name on it. It's not that big a deal, so I'll let it go. McKellar. Yeah, they had a couple of beers that were a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
But, we've also had some completely unknown breweries have some just mind-blowing beers in the show. And when you look at a beer, it's just, you gotta, I guess, keep in mind what they're trying to do.
I agree.
And I think that's where my crossroads starts with this beer. It's like, they're trying to make an imperial stout. It's going to be big. It's 9.2%. But as they say on the bottle, that they're, bringing you a pioneering stout. Okay, awesome. Stouts have been around a really long time. I don't know that I get anything pioneering off of this. Now, if they have another definition of pioneering, sweet. I'd love to hear it.
And that's marketing. I guess, for me, it's tough because on one hand, we talk a lot about pushing the envelope, and we want something that kind of has a wow factor, something that sets itself apart from the other beers that we drink that, frankly, over time, kind of start to really taste the same. On one hand, I think about this beer, hey, you know what? This doesn't taste like all the other American Imperial Stouts that I've had. On the other hand, I'm not going, damn, this thing is awesome. It's almost like I'm impossible to please, and this beer is really perplexing.
I think, looking at it from the beer itself, technically there's nothing wrong with this beer. Absolutely nothing wrong. It's got great head, granted by this point it's fallen a little bit. Yeah. You can work it back up if you try. But, technically there's nothing wrong with this beer. Yeah. It by look, by appearance, by, I guess look and appearance is the same thing, but by taste and, it fits what an Imperial Stout's supposed to be. So,
I guess the ultimate question is how do you rate something that doesn't taste like anything else you've ever had, but at the same time, is almost adventurous enough to say, hey, we're kind of setting ourselves apart. This is, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's perplexing.
Yeah, I think, depending on...
I have no idea what I'm going to score.
I don't know. I have an idea where I'm going to head with it, or that's my suggestion. But it's not so much because of what it is. It fits the style. Yeah. Granted, it doesn't do anything that I've never had before. It doesn't do anything that I've never seen before. It's incredibly smoky and roasty though, which throws me off a little bit.
And that's where I was going to argue is that, I'm not saying that it's doing something that hasn't been done before. I'm saying that this almost, if they had sold this bottle as, we have this 30th anniversary Imperial Stout that we've aged in Lagavulin casks, I would have been like, I am totally on board with that because it tastes like a peaty Scotch barrel, It's like, it's so unique in that sense that's what's throwing me off. And the fact that they don't call anything out about smoked malts or anything like that is really kind of interesting. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see where we land with this one. And
yeah, it's a curveball of a stout. It's everything that you could want or could hate in a stout. And that's
a good way of putting it.
It's a tough one.
All right, guys, we'll see you
later.